Exactly. Alrighty, we're live. Thanks everyone for joining this fireside chat. It's been quite a bit of time since we've had our last one. But what better way to get started again than with Pony Finance? Thanks so much, guys, for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We've been getting hyped for this the last couple of weeks, so glad to do it.
Yeah, so most people that are really into stable coins and this cross-chain narrative know what you guys do. It's an amazing product. I just definitely show it to everybody that I find. For those that are not as fortunate to know what Pony is, can you guys maybe give us like a brief elevator pitch to what Pony is?
Yeah. So, at kind of like the start of this year, there was this like big conversation that was going on about like a lot of the like algo stablecoin projects where like people were like having like serious question marks about them. And at the same time, people were like, everybody was talking about multi-chain, and it was becoming really, really clear that multi-chain was going to be the future. And that was like the way we were going to go. So that was really the genesis of Pony Finance, was saying, hey, how can we bring the best stablecoin yields in all of DeFi and give people one-click access to those stablecoin yields on mainnet Ethereum and bring it all back to mainnet. So we decided to launch Pony Finance early this spring. And what Pony Finance does is we bridge a number of fully collateralized stablecoin positions or vault tokens back to mainnet Ethereum. We basket those in a single ERC20 token, and that token can be bought on decentralized exchanges, specifically Uniswap v3. And we're just insanely fired up about it because up to this point, there was no way for users to get exposure to the best stablecoin yields in all of DeFi without bridging to 5 different chains, continually like rotating stablecoins all over the place. And just getting destroyed by fees. And we're just super, super excited about this product.
Yeah, I mean, me and Keela, we're a little different because we rotate around 20 different chains, like finding the best stablecoin yield. But there are very unfortunate people today that are earning 3-4% on their stablecoins, and it's sad. I mean, it's a problem that we need to address. And so I'm glad that you guys are offering this kind of tool for people to use.
Yeah, exactly. Like what is the kind of average stablecoin yield on mainnet, if you don't mind me asking? If you know off the top of your head.
Like under 3%.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's insane. Under 3%.
You can get more in Aave.
Exactly.
That's crazy. And you guys are, I mean, this is not just like a GarageBand, idea. You guys are partnering some heavy hitters. I know like DeFi Pulse is involved, like multi-chain, which is arguably the most widely used bridge out there. Beefy Finance, probably the best auto compounder out there. Tell us a little bit about your partners.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to that because I'm one of those partners, right? So Scalara is the index division of DeFi Pulse, right? So maybe best known for the DeFi Pulse index, but the role we play is the methodologist for the Pony Index. So do some screening on what stablecoin vault strategies to include. And then rebalance, and not the actual rebalancing, sorry, change the methodology, update the balances in accordance with the methodology on an ongoing basis to make sure that we're still capturing the best and safest yields across chains. And so Pony Finance, and Big Sky here, they maintain the token. Obviously, we've partnered with Beefy as well because most of the vaults for now are Beefy vaults. They've just kind of given the best. They're the best at essentially turning incentives into stablecoin yields. Not that it could only be Beefy, but at least so far they've proven to be the best strategies for what we're looking for. And then multi-chain is really just, that's how we get the assets from a Phantom, from an Avalanche, from a Polygon, and then move it into Kuiper protocol, which is the basket protocol that really allows us to put all these strategies into one token. And so those are did I miss a major player, Big Sky?
No, you got all the VIPs.
Yeah. Yep.
No,
Cool.
it's
Yes.
amazing, and it's crazy that it hasn't happened yet, right? If you think about like arbitrage in the space, we do already have price arbitrage, people buying and selling between chains, but not really interest rates, right? And even if it's the same LPs, like I don't know, my or DAI USDC, something like that, uh, the returns are very different. Like even outside of Ethereum, you can earn like 9% on stable coins on Polygon, whereas on Optimism, a newer chain, you can earn like what, close to 30% APY. So it's like pretty drastic difference. So yeah, awesome that you guys are doing that. Now the markets are not so hot. Why launch now? Do you think this is the time for a product like this?
Yeah, 100%. So first of all, like who cares about the market? Like my philosophy on the
I like that.
market is like you make the market through your energy and like what you bring every single day. And if you get a team and they're bringing their A game and hustling really hard and like just like really going for it, like that will drive the market. Like the market, like you like don't let the market control you. You can control the market, right? And that's been our philosophy from day one. And I couldn't think of a better time to launch a project, right? Like let's like do the hardest thing first, which is launch at the worst market time. And I think the other thing that I've been thinking about a lot with DeFi and like as I've just been like, where are we going from here is, what I'm passionate about is like building really simple abstractions that make DeFi intuitive for everybody. And like there's not a perfect time for that. Like we need that now, right? We needed it a year ago. DeFi is too complex and we need to like boil it down to something that like literally anyone in the world can do one-click access and get like exposure to a truly world-class financial product.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, a lot of people have hard time, even with simple things like providing liquidity. And now we're getting a lot of new people in crypto, and they're like, I don't know what impermanent loss is or stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely you're hitting there, and I like the energy. You make the market. Could you make my bags go up? Yeah,
That's what we're doing right now. We're hustling. We're getting it going.
I think
love it.
another great reason why it's a good time, right? This maybe despite the or actually probably because of the market being down is you have what happened that was unique in crypto. You have the Celsius and the BlockFis of the world who were promising some yield, doing certain things on chain that were not necessarily transparent. And actually, I mean, perfect timing for me would have been launching 2 years ago and getting in front of those guys and having a product that's fully on chain that is you can literally see where your yield is coming from, um, versus some of these centralized players where you couldn't do that, right? And so yeah, I think mainstream narrative is negative on DeFi because they actually don't know what DeFi is. That was not DeFi, right? This is actually a way to fully on chain view, like get some abstracted yield, right? Get some diversified exposure to that yield, and really make it relatively simple. It's just one token, you buy it, but you can see everything that's in it.
Yeah, is your microphone working now?
My headphones aren't working.
Oh, your headphones aren't working. That's
I'm
fine.
listening through you.
So tell me a little bit more about the different tokens you have. So is Pony the the aggregate token, or is that your governance token? Can you go over like the different pieces that make Pony Finance?
Yeah. So Pony Finance, not only is it like super cool what we're doing kind of on the multi-chain aspect, but it's really, really cool what we're doing on the DAO and the governance aspect as well. So Pony Finance was launched really as the world's first laser DAO. And everybody who's involved in this project, like we've been doing DAOs, we've been doing DeFi for the last like 2.5 years, and have seen kind of a lot of different governance approaches, have seen a lot of different like DAO approaches, and like really wanted to build, take the best of the last 2 years and then leave like a lot of the stuff that like kind of everybody knows doesn't work great. So the design of Pony Finance is it's a 2-token model. You have the Pony Index itself, which is what we've talked about this up to this point, which is the ERC20 token that holds the basket of stablecoin vaults. And then we have the Pony DAO token, which is the governance token that governs our treasury and, is basically allocates resources for the DAO. So 100% of the streaming fees from the Pony Finance Index accrue to our treasury, which is controlled by that governance token. And the real design, decision for us with Pony Finance is we didn't want to build a huge DAO that did everything. We didn't want to build a huge DAO that was like going in 200 different directions and was like trying to manage a bunch of things. We said, we are going to prioritize just laser focus on one thing and one thing only, and that is growing the Pony Finance Index and making it the best possible product out there. Because how many times in DeFi do you see like a team will launch like one cool product, it works okay, and then they'll launch 20 more in the next 3 weeks, and it's like, get that first product awesome, make it the best product in the world, and that's our focus right now.
Yeah, amen to that. I think there's like a wide range of ideas that come in DAOs, right? Even like in the larger DAOs that have more visibility, like MakerDAO, you see like a lot of voting, a lot of ideas, and yeah, there is some value in kind of focusing on something and putting everyone's brain power on that specifically. Yeah. So how did you choose the stable coins that you guys are using? How do you do the kind of due diligence of that? Because as you know, not all stable coins are made equally, and some of them tend to have better outcomes than others.
Yeah, so I can speak to that for sure. I mean, basically, we just said like what's the most like, we're obviously going to include Mai, and then what's the most like Mai, because we love those guys. That's our basic criteria.
We paid them a lot for that,
yeah. For sure. No, it's look, there are two screens, right? Or two, like, I guess, types of screens, right? Qualitative and quantitative. Like on the qualitative front, it's really just about the mechanism that maintains the stable coin, right? Like what keeps the peg. And or I mean, I guess with some of them, it's you wouldn't even necessarily call it a peg, but it's USDT, USDC, DAI, and Mai are the ones that have made the cut. And so what you hear in those are the USDT and the USDC. Obviously, that's places that have been battle tested for a little bit, have reserves off chain that maintain them. And there's some general comfort in crypto around those reserves, right? And then for DAI and for you guys, it's taking a look at the mechanism, making sure it's long-term sustainable. Obviously, there's the very prominent example of how UST's mechanism was not long-term sustainable. So essentially, I mean, that essentially boils down to not being fractional reserve algorithmic stablecoin. We haven't seen a mechanism design that's really cracked that nut for scale. And so at least for now, that's the qualitative criteria. And then quantitative, it's really, I mean, this is more at the time we were looking. So I think some have fallen under this, but it was, earlier in the spring, wanted it to have had some price stability over the past 6 months. And then just a look at the market cap to kind of make sure it wasn't so small. Reason being, there are some smaller market cap coins that could have made the cut qualitatively, but as in if Pony grows, we if it's really, really small, it might start affecting those yields in an inordinate fashion. There's a similar criterion on the vaults, because we don't want the size of Pony to be affecting the yields quite so much.
What happens if like you're doing a strategy and suddenly the rewards stop for whatever reason? What's the mechanism for changing? Is that like a DAO thing? Is that a team thing?
Yeah, so there's a we rebalance the index on an ongoing basis. Some of that criteria does include yield, right? And so basically, Scalara as the index methodologist would change the composition, at which point, and we would propose that, at which point we hand it off to Big Sky and Pony for the token rebalance mechanism. Which
Okay.
pick it up, Big Sky. What happens from there?
Yeah, and then once we get the actual new composition, it's voted on by our governance to implement it, and the rebalance implemented from there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And is Pony like redeemable for the underlying like receipt tokens? Like, could somebody like on Ethereum put their Pony and get all the receipt tokens and then bridge them themselves, or how does that work?
Correct. So users have two ways of getting exposure to the actual Pony index. So you can either buy it on Uniswap V3, which is what 99.9% of users are going to do, or you can mint the token yourself. And what that looks like is you'll bridge your stablecoin or ETH to the whatever the composite chains are, deposit in the vaults, bridge it back to mainnet Ethereum, and then you'll actually just be able to mint the token using the Kuiper contracts. And the people who are probably going to be most interested in that are arbitrageurs who see some change in the NAV of Pony and are able to like actually capitalize on the arbitrage opportunity there.
Smart. Maybe something good for whales like Keela to partake in.
Exactly.
No, I find like 20% guaranteed interest on my stables, like it tickles my stomach. So like I try and find those.
Yeah. Keela has all
100%.
his money on this stable coin. He hasn't checked it in a while.
Yeah, no.
So
Anchor,
Anchor, I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah, we haven't checked it because he said and forget, so we forgot.
It's 20%. Like
20%, amazing.
That's
Beautiful.
the meme. That's the meme.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good point, right? Like Pony is a product that's designed at scale for retail, for people who don't want to maybe take some of the more like exotic steps, right? But actually, as you see a token implementation of it in the market, there is something that's a little interesting for folks who can track the NAV of Pony, track the price of the token, kind of know their stablecoin vaults, and really like there are sophisticated like trades to be done, essentially ensuring that the token itself kind of stays on NAV. So definitely an arbitrage opportunity there, and that's kind of the beauty of building an index on DeFi, is that in the traditional finance world you have these ETFs that are off of NAV, but like the transparency and the kind of like open use of DeFi allows like anybody to take a look, and if they see a price disparity, take advantage of it. We like that, both on the Scalara and the Pony side, because it's literally the market essentially enforcing the product to be on NAV. And I would think sophisticated observers would like it because it just produces more opportunities.
Okay, so we're gonna delete the last 5 minutes of this conversation, so nobody else is arbitraging but us, because that seems like amazing opportunity and all in stable. So, pretty nice play.
So
Yeah.
if you're before you delete it, net asset value of the Pony index is $1.10. If it's $1.12, you can probably make a pretty good arb opportunity by bridging everything over, selling Pony, getting USDC, do it again and again.
Just buy a bunch of Pony on Ethereum and let Benjamin make a lot of money on arbitraging. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's the other option.
I like it. It's very nice. And what does bridging look like for how do you get the receipt tokens from their original chains onto Ethereum? You're using multi-chain, right?
Correct.
And are the fees very high on that?
Multi-chain's been awesome. We absolutely if there's one big takeaway from Pony Finance and like building it over the last 4 or 5 months, it's just like, part of the key to just killing it in DeFi and crypto in general is just like really leaning into partnerships and building good relationships. And like that's been our priority, like literally since day one. Is like, how do we just build awesome relationships with like the teams at Multi-Chain, Beefy Finance, X Token, who's been great to work with, and like I think a mistake people make with crypto is they're like, everything's like software, right? Everything's like operating in a computer. It's all cold. It's all machines. But like the human component of this is just so awesome. And like people don't appreciate it. And it's just like leaning into building those partnerships is super valuable.
Yeah, completely agree there, man. We're all collaboration maxis at Chidao, so always like to work with different people, especially the people you're working with. I mean, Beefy is amazing, multi-chain, DeFi Pulse, amazing people. Right, they invented TVL, so pretty smart folks.
Tell Scott you said that.
Yeah. If Scott, if you're watching this, much love. Yeah, somebody's asking here if you guys are going to extend the terminal rewards. It's a community question there. It's popped up.
So first of all, we have 4 more weeks of terminal rewards on X token. Hopefully you provide enough liquidity over those 4 weeks and earn enough governance tokens that there's no need to extend it. I think probably over the next couple months, as the market evolves and we explore different partnership opportunities and like where we want like our liquidity to live long term, we'll probably think about other incentive programs as needed. But to be honest, like there's like the demand for Pony Index has been crazy. It's like it's super low. Like we did $700,000 of volume the other day on Pony Index, and it's like the market's down. It's not like nobody in DeFi is like printing. It's not like 2021 where you could like launch like a burrito token and have like $500 million. But like the demand's been huge. Like we're seeing awesome product market fit. People want this product. We're very confident we can grow it organically as well.
Perfect. Yeah, I know, and also stablecoins. So people tend to ape into stablecoins right about this time, right? You see it in a lot of like other stablecoin platforms as well, where they start to become mostly stable coins or interest-bearing stable coins because people are just levering those stable coins. We're still mostly, I think, BTC though, BTC and ETH, maybe ETH more than BTC. But yeah, there's a big trend, right? Everyone's moving to stable coins. Not us, not the degens in this side of the camera. We're throwing our money everywhere it goes. But yeah, what are you guys' goals? I mean, you launched, a lot of people like what you're doing. You're getting a lot of traction. Where does Pony go from here?
Yeah. So my goal, I see Pony Finance and the Pony Index as one of the largest stable asset pairs in all of DeFi. And I would be like, we are laser focused on making that happen in the next year. And I think it absolutely can happen. I see this being the Pony Index being an absolute one of the like key DeFi Legos that people build around. We're very focused on having it be used as collateral with all the large DeFi lenders. That's an absolute next step that's in our eyes. And then, I think there are a ton of efficiencies. Like we've launched it, a month ago, and the methodology can only get better. The product can only get better. We can only continue to deliver better and better stablecoin yields. We want this, winning for me is if the Pony Index is, the first DeFi token for millions of people, and it is providing them like a truly safe, truly long-term sustainable option for them to invest their capital.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys are making something that's pretty simple to wrap your head around, but given the current state of like cross-chain architecture, infrastructure, like it's probably very like elaborate, right? Like what you have to go through to make it all work. Could you maybe share some like operational challenges that you guys have come across? And also while you have been building it, some challenges as well.
Yeah, so I think I think the multi-chain bridging space is like definitely very nascent, right? Like many of these bridging protocols are, have launched only in the last couple of months. And like that is a big area where, we are very focused on saying like, hey, how do we like make it more permissionless? Like how do we like really lean into this so it's very seamless, like getting these assets to like where they need to be on what chain they need to be, right? Because, if Pony Finance is going to win long term, like the Pony Index, like it needs to be one of the largest stable asset pairs on not just mainnet Ethereum, but like every single chain out there. And like the way we do that is by truly, truly leaning into the different kinds of bridges, making sure it's permissionless, making sure it's as easy, cheap, and efficient for users as possible.
Yeah, I think it goes to why, like earlier when you were talking about why hasn't this existed before, right? And I think it is some of these technical challenges, right? That everyone could have said like, hey, make a basket of stablecoin yield assets, right?
Mhm.
But then actually doing that, it requires a beefy finance to come as far as they have, in terms of being this yield aggregator, really across chains. It requires a multi-chain to allow you to be able to kind of efficiently bridge, and it requires a Kuiper protocol, right, which is a basket protocol, that really allows you to take all those cross-chain assets, put them into one token, and then have a way to actually to rebalance it on an ongoing basis.
Mhm.
Each of those steps along the way is something that I would say, about a year ago was either didn't really exist or wasn't far enough along to have allowed something like a Pony to come along. Right now, obviously, it does require coordinating with those partners, and Pony Finance is taking more and more steps to own more of like how that works and the token maintenance. But it's just something that couldn't have existed before. Those challenges kind of remain, and the costs are a concern. But like the great thing about doing it as an index and an index token implementation is that all of those costs are socialized across the token.
Right.
And so as it gets to scale, it really just becomes a more and more feasible prospect to bring those yields together under one token and just make it something that someone can just purchase.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys are not making your own beefy. You're not making your own bridge. You're partnering with other people, and I think that's very admirable because in this bear market, I think we're gonna see a lot of people try to bring everything in house. Like, I want my own swap. I want my own stable coin. I want my own, bridge, right? I don't think that's the best way to go. I think historically, like crypto has done well because we collaborate, right? I mean, you look at like when Citibank does something, they don't share it with JP Morgan, and so they don't share it with Wells Fargo. So at the end of the day, everyone's making doubles of everything, and it's like really inefficient. And if we're gonna beat them, we gotta play a different game. So I really admire you guys for working with so many people. I mean, it's incredible. How many is it? Like 7 projects coming together to make one product. It's pretty cool.
And it's like, yeah, it's like all the product problems are too complex, right? Like you can't like each of these problems that is solved by like a different protocol is like its own huge rabbit hole, its own like very discrete problem. And it's like, how do you don't want to like you don't if you're trying to launch a project, just like partner with the best and launch with them.
Amen. What do you think about that, Keela? It's
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we are collaboration maxis, so that's kind of our MO there. One name that we do see often is Scalara. I don't know. I don't have my headphones. My headphones weren't working, so I don't know if you touched upon it. But what exactly is Scalara, and what is like their role in all of the partnership piece?
the big brains.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll speak to that. So Scalara is a relatively recent rebrand of DeFi Pulse's index division, right? So, the DeFi Pulse index was obviously the brainchild of DeFi Pulse. It was quite successful, and prompted DeFi Pulse to spin out and create its own division called Scalara, that is in the index provider business, right? So Scalara creates indices, really with an eye towards on-chain implementation, right? And so not just, I mean, DeFi the DPI is a relatively simple basket, but really the expansion vision is creating indices like Pony that really benefit very specifically from features you can only get on chain, right? And so really creating a basket of these stablecoin yield vaults, and taking a look at all of the technical challenges and making that assessment of, okay, is everything there for this to actually become something that somebody could implement a token for? That's the kind of bent and the angle. So in index, what part do we play? Index methodologist. What does that mean? To analogize from the TradFi world, SPY ETFs, right? Based on the S&P 500, the S&P in that is the index provider. That's the role that Scalara looks to play.
Okay, so you guys are like the PhDs, like the really smart guys.
That's it.
In
That's it. I'm the talking head on behalf of the PhDs. But yeah, the PhDs, we've got them there.
Okay, so humble
Tinkering and
PhDs.
making it
Okay,
happen.
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
PhDs, and then you've got Big Sky.
It's okay. We're not the PhDs at Cheetah. It's okay. That's all. Actually, no. Keela is a physicist, but that's I guess another topic of conversation.
Can't figure out how to use headphones.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to use headphones. Yeah. How do you guys plan to scale? Because I'm just thinking like on Ethereum, you guys have like there's some serious whales. Like it's not like on some other chains that we're on where like a whale is like $1 million, $2 million. There's people that are willing to put like hundreds of millions of dollars on good stablecoin yields, but it's kind of like a chicken and the egg thing, right? Because like you can't just buy 100 million of Pony right now because the peg would go insane, and the person who does that would lose a lot of money. But then if I'm a whale on Ethereum, maybe I don't want to touch Polygon. Maybe I don't want to touch Avalanche, like actually having to do it. So how are you guys going to solve for that sort of like scaling thing?
So first of all, if you're an Ethereum whale with $100 million looking to put it in Pony Finance, please reach out. I think they shared my Twitter handle. Send me a DM. We'll get you set up. We'll get you set up. I think right now, like our huge focus, I break it down into kind of 3 buckets. So initially, our huge focus is just awareness, right? And just like getting the name out there and, making sure that people know that like, hey, this product exists on mainnet Ethereum and you should get access to it. Our next major focus is product integrations, right? And that's like getting integrated with lending and borrowing markets, getting integrated with like the DeFi ecosystem as a whole. Because if you don't have that, like nobody's going to touch it, right? Like you want something where people can gain leverage. You want something where people can actually use it, throughout DeFi. And then our third main part of our strategy that we're slowly transitioning into is like the actual direct sales of like, hey, reaching out to different DAOs who are a huge target market for this. Like every single DAO should have a Pony index instead of their native treasury governance token.
Are you listening? Olympus
yeah.
DAO?
Yeah, exactly. And then, reaching out to various institutions who, maybe have to allocate a certain percentage of their capital to stablecoins and then to individuals.
Man, where can I buy your governance token? That's, I think, the most important question here.
On Uniswap V3, the place to be.
V3. Here, you guys have heard it. Not financial advice. Leave me all the Pony for me. But if I leave any left, right? You guys, it's pretty interesting.
And then once he gets his pony, what does he do with his pony? Like
I race it to be a horse. That's how it works.
Exactly.
Actually, no, ponies
you let
are
it
not
grow
little
up. You
horses.
train it.
Oh yeah.
Ponies are like a different thing. There's like horses and ponies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that does make sense.
Yeah, no, but what can I do with my pony? So like I'm making money. It's great. I have my passive income. Do I LP it? I mean, do I lever it an ungodly amount? Like
You're the Pony Index or the governance token?
I guess both, but the Pony Index token.
Yeah, so the Pony Index token right now, the primary thing you do with it is you LP, and you do the Pony Index USDC pool on Uniswap V3. You stake the LP token on X token, and you earn. I believe we're paying it's like 44% on Pony DAO governance tokens, and you earn that. So that's the primary thing you do.
We're gonna take a short break here while I get my ledger out. That's pretty nice, and on Ethereum.
And then from there with the Pony governance token itself, it's a pure governance token. So more, as the index grows, when we hit, like, if you think about it, when we hit 100 million, when we hit 500 million, when we hit 1 billion, when we hit 10 billion, all those fees from the Pony index itself are accruing to our treasury, and that treasury is controlled by the Pony D governance token, or the Pony DAO governance token, and we think that's just super, super compelling. And something that I think people don't realize, it's like take a stake in the Pony DAO, and then just start growing the Pony index, and more fees accrued to the DAO. It's super simple.
Now, what's the best way to be active in the Pony DAO?
So right now, like, we're super, super focused on Discord, right? Like, I think, we're not doing a huge like governance forum, kind of that approach. We're just like, hey, how do we just build literally the best Discord in the world that people want to be part of, that are like really enjoy? We have weekly community calls every Tuesday that I run, that, as people, are starting, and like the energy in those is crazy. We're having people, you guys have probably seen it too. Like, people start just building different stuff. I'm like really happy with like the level of contributor we've attracted. And that's something I think people don't realize that about like DeFi right now, is like, when you were doing like launching a DAO in like 2020, you were getting people who were like, had never done it before, have a lot of experience. Now it's like 2022, like, people are pros. They've done this before. They're ready to show up and like put in the work. And that's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely hands-on. Like, same with our DAO. It's not like I'll buy the token and hope it goes up, right? It's like you have to roll up your sleeves. Well, I have short sleeves, but you have to get ready and go
You can still
help.
roll them up. Show the shoulders off.
No shoulders. Keela is our hunk, so he's the one with the muscle. I'm just here for my Binance shirt. Yeah.
Sorry. If you'll forgive me, I do want to go back to the scaling question actually a little bit, and just say one thing to piggyback off of what Big Sky was talking about. So Pony is not just because we like love horses, right? Or ponies, as they can be a different thing. So Pony is passive omni-chain net yield index, PONY, and it's that omni-chain piece that I think is important to scaling. And go, like, Ben, when you're saying like someone on Ethereum might be skeptical of some of these other chains, it actually, I mean, Pony is very much a bet that the future is cross-chain, right? And so, we very much see, this world where, I mean, maybe Ethereum's the settlement layer for EVM. And there's a lot of activity going on a bunch of different places, but those places are going to need stable coins to kind of help secure and anchor their own ecosystems. And so what's in Pony today may not be what's in Pony 2 or 3 years from now, right? But we've built a structure that kind of allows for scaling with that future. And look, if we're wrong and everything's on one chain, it's probably not the right product, but it's definitely very much a bet, right? That this is how the future is going to look. And I think it's a solid one, right?
I completely agree. Yeah, especially now that we're gonna have like so many L2s. I think now with this bear market, a lot of people not really talking about alto ones. They're talking about a lot of L2s. So a lot of new chains coming up that I think we're all excited about. So pretty good to bootstrap liquidity also for new chains. You just hit up Beefy and you're like, hey, can I can I please have a strategy? And they're
Is
really,
that how they do it? How they say?
I don't know. I think Beefy knows about the chain before the chain knows about the chain, because they are on every chain, even when it's not a chain. If like a build that they're just there. I don't know. What do you think, Hila?
I think that Beefy is actually in the background creating all of these chains.
That's what it is. Beefy is Vitalik's mom. They made Metis. I'm just gonna say it. That's what it is. She's the person that started it all, because it's amazing. I mean, they're everywhere. So if you're a new chain, and I guess you want to be added to Pony, talk to Beefy, right? Or I guess talk to Pony too. But probably talk to Pony. Probably talk to both. Talk to people. No,
yeah,
like,
look, I
great
mean,
stuff.
it's almost like you don't even need to talk to us, because it's really like we will follow where there's the methodology will pick up
Mhm.
where there's capital, where there's those incentives, right? And again, it's just a bet that that's the way it's going to play out as
Right.
execution layers come about, right? It's something you. I mean, sure, it's very similar. It's why Mai's on the most on the most chains as a stablecoin,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. You guys can make that claim. Okay,
Yeah,
That's
that's why
crazy.
we're here,
I don't
and the the developers are like hard at work because yeah, we're shipping all the time. We're in a bunch of 20 chains.
Wow, that's how you guys can afford to have actual fireplaces for your fireside chats.
There you go. No,
Like
Aquila's a
that.
whale. He's everyone's sugar daddy, and that's why we have yeah, because he was in
Fireplace.
Min. Yeah.
I turned off my AC to simulate the heat for you guys. So
Oh,
there's-
nice. Oh, he turned off the AC to simulate the heat.
Ah,
No, if we turned on the fireplace, it would be very hot because as it is a most to the world, everyone's like boiling for some reason. For some reason, right? Yeah, who knows? What's the
and yet
what's
you're
the
still
cause?
wearing pants. As in, like, not like
He didn't have time because CT called him and he just
As-
threw on
other
the.
than, like,
You know what?
pants.
I am wearing pants and I deeply regret it. But I'm not like Pony Finance Pony. I mean, if they add a strategy that they don't like, they can just change it because they're not bound to pants. They can wear shorts. They can wear skirts. Very flexible. Cool. Do we have any? Do we have any serious questions from the community? Let's see. Oh, people want to do a treasury swap, Mr. Rax.
Mr. X wants to treasury swap. Pony and
I'll
Chi.
trade you my UST for your Pony tokens.
Yeah.
For trade.
Yeah, I mean, what, you got the Luna too?
Got the Luna 2.0, guys. It's different. I promise. Yeah, you guys. What's your treasury like? You guys have most of the treasury, right? Or is it mostly kind of given out to the community? How does that work?
I think there's like 60% of the treasuries left of just in our token.
Okay, that's pretty solid. 60%.
Yeah, Mr. Rax, my DMs are full of Ethereum whales trying to buy $100 million Pony index. But once I get through that, we can definitely talk token
Oh, yeah.
swaps too.
A quick question is: do you guys often play like the governance token game, to where trying to acquire governance tokens of other projects to kind of amplify the stablecoin yield that you're getting?
Like
across-
Balancer, like Beefy, or what's another good one? Chi. Curve would be an
Convex.
interesting one. Convex.
Yeah, we haven't even really. I don't think we've really explored that yet. Like we haven't. Like I don't know. Like our governance token is something I'm insanely bullish on and I'm extremely excited on. But like we've been like just laser focused on the Pony index, to be honest, and just making that just absolutely kick ass.
That's awesome.
That's like really been the focus.
Yeah, and so maybe we touched up on it. I can't remember, but let's say I love Balancer, for example, and there are a lot of cool like boosted pools on Balancer that I'd love to see on Pony. What would be the process for proposing and having that added to Pony?
Yeah, so we've actually, it's funny, we've been, very actively kind of exploring the Balancer ecosystem and been getting over there because Balancer is just awesome.
I love Balancer.
And then, but yeah, I think the first step would be to talk to the Scalara guys, to be honest. Nate, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think the way, in addition to like contribution, actual like hustle or sweat equity, I think the contribution that the Pony DAO is looking for too is just like feedback, right? Like is this genuinely does the composition reflect the stated goals of the index and of the methodology, right? So I would say, you can absolutely show up in the Discord, show up on the calls and give that feedback and basically say like, we think these pools are terrible, right? Like Balancer boosted pools here is the way to go. I think it fits the criteria and it does X, Y, and Z for these reasons. That would be your method or recourse for doing that these days. But expect more formal processes to come via the DAO.
Perfect. So I'll get some ballers with me and we'll go to the Discord and just like bother you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's not intended to be something that has this kind of like bribe optimization culture, right? It really is just like capturing reasonable yields,
Hmm.
right? And then anything that is so like alpha or movement driven would be like kind of erased by a whole lot of capital moving towards it, and the
Right.
size that we're thinking of, right? I mean, the idea behind Pony is for it to kind of live and breathe like a on-chain bond fund, right?
Hmm.
um you know and kind of give that exposure, provide that like that that place in someone's on-chain portfolio. um and so it really isn't conducive to that, so those sort of movements, because I mean DeFi's getting bigger, DeFi's getting more transparent, and it's just getting more like a traditional financial market of size.
Right. That's very level headed. I like that. I mean, you don't want a degen holding the keys to the stables, right? Definitely not us, right? We're not gonna be managing Pony anytime soon, Kila. But no, that's awesome.
Are you hiring?
Kila. Please, we're gonna delete this section. Along with the arbitrage section. So now we have
Yeah,
two
your editor
sections
has
to
his
delete.
work cut out for him.
Yeah, man. Whoever's editing this is gonna have a tough time. Okay, Nacho. Now I think we're wrapping up pretty much in terms of questions. But what are some things you guys are excited about that you would like to share? Any alpha? Anything new? Any in-person events? Any online events?
Yeah, so I think the thing that I'm most excited about right now is just like the level of energy that is coming into the Pony Finance Discord, the level of energy that's coming into the Pony Finance community. Like we are just getting the best in the world, and they're laser focused on growing this product. And I think like we're going to come out of this bear market so strong, both like as DeFi as a whole, and specifically Pony Finance. So I'm like literally just hyped to like work as hard as possible and like just power through this, and like we're gonna come out the other side and just crush it.
Amazing energy. I love it. Nathan, any comments?
All I can do is piggyback on the big sky energy we're getting in this room right now, right? There's Pony Finance is it's the right perspective on this market at this time, right? It's what is needed, and I'm excited that there are people showing up every day to like help with the DAO and to help get that message out there, and just bring some light and integrity back to like DeFi yields, right? Something that may have been lost in this kind of like Celsius or Anchor era, because it's something that is designed to give the benefits of composability in a simplified fashion, and I think it's the right product for the time.
Awesome. Well, that was the Pony Finance guys. Thank you everybody for joining in. Since there are no more questions, I think we'll wrap it up here. Any final comments, Kila?
No, I mean it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. I think there's a lot that we'll be able to do in the near future. I mean, we're a stablecoin protocol. You guys are finding stablecoin yields. That's kind of a match made in heaven.
Pretty good match.
Yeah, we love the beefy
Oh, we love
guys
the
as
beef.
well. So
Yeah.
yeah, couldn't be happier about this. I think it like what you guys built, and what like being able to bring the yields from like all these other chains over to mainnet and all that kind of good stuff. I mean,
It's amazing.
yeah,
Amazing,
it's
yeah.
fucking hot.
Yeah, we'll definitely be shilling Pony to other people. First, I gotta buy some tokens, so I'm not just. I have this thing where like I shill projects I like, and then I forget to actually buy the token, and then it goes up, and I'm like, oh, nice. So
Yeah, I do the same thing.
yeah, it's how it goes.
Yeah.
And
Awesome,
look,
guys.
if
Mhm.
you guys want to do a spin-off podcast on skirts versus pants versus shorts diversity, I'm totally down for that. That
I
was
love
that
it.
was a bit of an aside, but yeah,
We
let's
need
do it.
more skirts in the space for sure.
Let's do it. That podcast,
Quilts.
I'll make sure to
Quilts or
have my
skirts, right?
what is
The Scottish thing? That's a quilt.
no
Kilt.
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 It's a kilt.
We need more skirts and kilts.
For sure.
Mhm.
I'm down.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining in. Yeah, till the next time.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.